Hello there, welcome to In My Opinion Double Take. I'm Salazani4.
Slick underscore heartless. I said that sexy.
And before we get into the game we are going to talk about, which is Jak 1, I forgot the exact title, The Precursor Legacies, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Alright, The Precursor Legacy. Well, I'm gonna explain first what the hell is Double Take in the first place. What it basically is, it's just like my usual review series. It's just me with my friend here, Slick Heartless. Talking about the game, it's a little more loose than my usual reviews. Those reviews are still going to go up as usual, but these are just for games for me and him that play, and just we want to just talk about. And
Yeah.
that's really it. It's gonna have the section still, the story, gameplay, presentation overall, but it's just a little more loosey goosey.
Yeah. With words and sentences like loosey goosey.
So we'll talk about Jak and Daxter, the precursor story. The basic setup is Jak and Daxter are just exploring that mist island, I believe that's what it is. And while exploring, they basically fall into a dark eco goo, turning Daxter into that thing. I think it's called, was it also? I think is what it's called, or something in the universe.
It's a deformity, who cares?
Yeah. And this is the first time we see the villains, which are Gull and Maya, but they don't really do much. I'm not even sure they even notice you. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, you fall into that goo, and now the whole goal is, with the help of the Green Sage Samos and his daughter Kira, you're supposed to find a cure for Daxter to turn back to his ugly elf, whatever these people are, looking self. And I think
Wow, that's messed up. You call them ugly elf people. Just
yeah.
saying. Continue.
Nah, just no, Dax is ugly. Everyone else is pretty damn pretty compared to him. If anything, I think Dax got lucky. I think he looks better as the creature he comes out of than whatever the race they're here. They never really specifically say. I can't remember if they even in the whole series they even say what the race is. I just
I don't remember.
yeah, I just call them elves because that's what they basically are. Who we kidding here? The giant pointy ear people. So I,
Sure.
So I think that's the basic plot, right? I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yes. That sounds right.
Yeah. All right.
I'm here
So
to nod and agree, people. Good night, everybody.
so right now we're gonna go into spoiler territory. We're gonna talk about how we feel about the story. So just heads up, this is spoilers for the rest of the
Spoiler
story section.
alert. You see that sign on your screen? You don't? That's because we didn't add one. Spoiler alert.
Anyway, I thought the story was okay for what it was. It was nothing, no groundbreaking or deep nothing. It was fun, funny. I like the interactions between all the characters. Everyone's chock full of personality. No one's dull or boring. Even though Jak doesn't talk, he still shows some personality, and Daxter's basically the mouth of the duo, at least in part one. I will say,
Yes.
yeah, I will say
Continue.
the villains kind of suck here because they don't do anything.
Um, I disagree very much. I think this is the best Jak and Daxter game, and you should play this one and not bother playing any other ones because they're trash. They're trash.
We
And
haven't
this
got
was the best one.
we haven't got to
Don't
that
play the
yet.
other
Damn,
ones.
dude. But yeah, like,
Continue.
but yeah, nah. Wait though about the villains themselves because they only appear like 3 times in the whole entire game.
I I think they were cool. I think it was going in a good direction, and like you just said, spoilers, territory. We're gonna talk about the rest of the game, but it's just they could have done so much with them, and I felt like it was leading to something. And then considering that what plays out in part two, it just felt like a ginormous waste of time instead of building on these characters that had so much potential. That's just my thought about it.
Yeah, like the two characters, like they appear once in the beginning, which you barely notice. The second time they appear, I think you're like in the Red Sage's hut or some shit like that, and they
Yeah,
talk to
towards the
you.
end.
And then the third time they appear is when you free all the other sages, and they're like, "Oh, you can't stop us. We're gonna be powerful, cause Dark Eco and whatever." And then that's basically the last time you see them, I think, in the like bodies, because next thing you know, you're facing them in a giant robot. They blow up, and you never see them again.
It's true, you do never see them again, which again was disappointing because in the story, it's that villain, the guy, he is one of the sages. So it's like it had so much potential to be something, and then it was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It was just whatever. Like, I do agree that him being a sage himself, it could have lent to something like big, but it just kind of didn't. It just felt like they were just like a wall they had to go over, and a very like bland wall because you didn't get chance even to develop it or nothing. And there was even like a weird part where the brother and sister interacted. I was like, this is kind of getting creepy in that kind of way. But I was like, I'm pretty sure they weren't going that way or anything like that. It just there was so little to work with those characters. You basically had to take anything.
Yes, I agree.
Is
It's
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
this
sorry. I know I keep just saying yes, I agree. It's just it was so disappointing to me that it didn't go further than that. That it's kind of just a dream. But the game itself is really good. So
yeah the story the overall story is, while not the most super complex, pretty straightforward. It's still entertaining as hell. Again, because our two heroes make it fun, and the kooky characters you see in the village and other places also help make it more entertaining instead of just running around and shit like that.
yes, entertaining, collecting, grabbing, fighting. Very good game.
Now on to the gameplay of the Jak and Daxter one, and I have to say this game is fucking fun. I mean, that's as blatant as I can put it, but yeah, it's really fun. The platforming's good. I like the little car sections you get with that vehicle, like the little quick little spots. Like sometimes they'll have you just try to get through a little narrow area while you're driving, or you gotta rush through this area before they blow up something. I remember that was always one of them. You had to like rush before they blew up some kind of dynamite or something like that. That was really
Right.
fun. I found that really cool and everything like that. Punching, kicking works perfectly fine. There's no hitbox issues or anything like that. Um, the little temporary power ups are pretty cool too, especially when you got like it's always a time limit, so you always got to try your best to do what you got to do and use your head a little more to figure out some situations. Like when you're, because this is more of a open game, you can say. It's like, this is the new area, figure stuff out. It
Yeah.
makes you use your head a little more, like when you gotta use a blue eco and everything to like run real fast to turn power on and so on. And I have to say the only thing that really annoyed me is I wish Jak ran faster. He runs pretty damn slow. Like I wish there was like a run button and everything like that. Also, there are some of those driving sections that they make you platform with that car, and I thought it was crap. Like I didn't like I didn't like jumping and like trying to land as best as you could on those tiny ass platforms with that big jet bike car thing. Like that was a little annoying, especially when you were like, "Yeah, I got it." I fell off. I got to go around again and do it over and over. That was a pain in the fucking ass. And the camera has kind of a mind of its own, and it could get really annoying, especially trying to just to see a certain view so you know where you're jumping. Sometimes the camera just fights you like tooth and nail.
Um, I agree with a lot of what you said. I do. The game was solid. I think the game all around, the gameplay all around is very solid. The controls are responsive. I mean, we were talking about an older game,
Yeah,
so if you compare it to like the games of today, it's like not as responsive, but for the time for what it
Yeah.
was, it's pretty responsive. You hit you hit extra jump, it'll jump, you attack, and everything's really good.
It basically still holds up.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely still holds up, and it's a lot of fun. Uh, it's the collecting isn't a hassle, because that's
Yep.
what you're doing. You're going through the game, collecting precursor orbs, and moving on to the next area. And collecting these orbs isn't a pain. It's fun. Uh, there's some challenge to it still. It's not like they're just in the open and you grab them. There's different objectives that keep everything fresh. And like you said, they have that motorcycle bike sections that are pretty cool, and they have you do missions on them. And it is a lot of fun. And I personally wasn't bored throughout that whole
Yep.
game
Me neither.
as I was doing everything, and like you said, they put in the blue eco so that you can run faster, so that you can use jump pads and a few other things. So it's all really cool. Yes, he does run really slow, and when you're backtracking, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
You're totally right. Is it enough
Like
to make you stop playing? Of
no.
course not. But it is so, so very
It,
annoying
it,
to
it
have to go back somewhere and you're just like, oh, I forgot this. Darn it, I'm gonna take 5 minutes to get over there now.
Yeah, you end up just rolling and jumping most of the time instead of walking.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yes, 100%.
I did it so many times. Like, oh my god, I want to get across to that spot in the island. Roll, jump, roll, jump, roll, jump, and then sometimes you're in the motion, you end up falling off a cliff or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
it's a headache, like you said, but outside of that, it's not bad. It's really cool. I really, like you said, really enjoyed it. Uh,
Oh yeah, I'm talking about talk. Yeah,
boss fights were good.
yeah. There weren't many though. I think there were like what, like two. I think like boss fights. Like,
There were a handful, yeah, but the ones that you did,
yeah, they weren't that
they
bad.
weren't
They
bad. They were
weren't they
really
weren't
cool.
annoying thing like that.
Yeah,
One of the things you mentioned, like the collecting, that was like a big plus. How it kept track of basically everything you collected in every section. So you wouldn't be confused of what the hell you're missing. So yeah, that was like a big plus right there. And you could always, even after you beat the game, you can unlock a secret ending, a cutscene or whatever that leads into part 2. And after you beat the game, you're allowed to explore to your heart's content to look for everything that you miss. And since the game makes everything nice and organized of where you missed and everything like that, and the fact they have portals, so you can get around a little bit more quicker than usual.
right. Um, yeah, that whole you beat the game and then it's just like secret ending and you're just like cool, and then you see it and you're like this is awesome, and then you play part 2 and you're like this is terrible. But let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about the two of them and get to it. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth for that one when we talk about it. Uh, but yeah, I like like I said, the collecting, like you said, the collecting is great. Um, didn't run into many problems there with the collecting. The gameplay is just 100, well, basically 100% solid. The only time it ever got weird on me, sometimes I would press jump to double jump, and for some reason it would like fart, like game fart, and just like let me fall.
Wouldn't register, you fall, you die, and you want to slam the controller on the
Yeah,
ground.
but one good thing is this game does have a good amount of checkpoints. So even if you die,
Unlike another
yeah,
game, it
we'll
seems.
get to that in a sec. We'll get to that eventually. Um, the good amount, there's a good amount of checkpoints. So if you die, it's not really a big issue or anything. And it say if you collect something, just die right there. It still counts as you collected it, because there are some other games out there, just in gaming in usual, that you will collect something, die, and just because you didn't meet a checkpoint or something like that, it doesn't count as you getting the item, which is dumb. But this
Right.
one, it counts no matter what, so it makes, some people might be like, oh, that makes it easier. No, it makes it less frustrating. That's what it makes it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, that was like that. So the collecting's great, the platforming is pretty damn good. Also, like some they tried to throw some little things here and there to mix it up, like that fishing game that was there. That I remember we had to catch fish for the
Oh yeah,
guy.
yeah.
The one where you had to protect cupcakes or some shit like that. Like, remember that?
I remember. Yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah,
what you're
that
talking
was it.
about.
That
Was it cupcakes?
it was some type of food. I remember it being
Yeah.
colorful. It was the guy trying.
No, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the guy trying to get his pig or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And you see they try to mix it up a bit, and that becomes even more prevalent in the next entry where they really try to mix it up. But this one they mix it up a bit, and it keeps things fresh, keeps things fun. This game basically is just it's chill. As you lay back, you can chill back, collect at your own pace. Don't have to worry about missing anything.
It's chill. I would not have used that word in order to describe that game, but
Yeah.
all right, I'm not mad at it. It's chill.
Yeah. Like I said, the only problems I really had was the driving platforming. Driving itself is fine, but the platforming was with the car was a little pain in the butt. The camera can be unruly at times, and just the speed of Jack in general, like he really should have like speed up, man.
No, yeah, I hear that for sure. I agree with the running at least.
Yeah. All right, now on to presentation.
So presentation is brought to you today by the two of us, and you're not going to hear me speaking much about presentation because I am not big. I can't tell graphics apart too much, people. So when people are just like, hey, what do you think about this game? What do you think about the graphics? I'm just like, it's fantastic. Obviously, I can tell the difference between the PS1 and the PS4 game, but I don't really care too much if you get my drift.
You're like it's functional.
Yes, as long as the game is fun, I don't care what the game looks like.
Yeah.
People can tell 1080p and 720 and all that stuff. I cannot. So, graphics, presentation, for me, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, without further ado, the guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
First thing I gotta say is this is based on the PS2 to PS4 release that they did. It's not the PS3 collection. 'Cause I know the PS3 collection, that release is supposed to look a little smoother, but not run as well. So that, like, I'm just giving everyone the heads up on that. That's what we're talking about. This version, the PS2 to PS4 conversion. That's the one we are talking about.
For
yeah,
people who don't understand, let's pretend I don't know what smoother means. What does that even mean?
Like it doesn't look like a blurry mess. It looks the textures are nice and basically smoothed out. It's not a lot of jaggies around the corner or anything like that. That basically that's what it is. It's just not blurred. It's not a blurry mess, and it's not jagged up the ass and everything like that. It's a nice conversion. But that being said, this PS2 the PS4 version doesn't look terrible at all. Like compared to the other one, it looks fine. Of course, it's aged a bit. This is I think Jak 1 released kind of early in the PS3 era. No, PS2. PS2. Wow, whew, so many PSs. It released kind of early, and like I remember I saw the Jak model. And I was like, whew, that is ugly. But that being aside, the models still look nice in general. It's just not like, oh my god, this is beautiful.
Hey! It was beautiful. You shut your mouth.
Is the characters all have nicely varied designs. Everyone looks different. No one looks just. It doesn't like a gray blobs or anything. Everyone looks the same. Even the citizens who don't really play a role in the story at all, just to give out missions, they're all kooky and have their own specific look to them, making them all stand out, even though they don't do anything really. Like the mayor.
Just like the mayors where we live. Haha, good night, everybody.
Yeah. Mayor De Blasio trying to run for president.
Uh,
Hello.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, everyone in New York hates him anyway, so whatever. Uh,
I'm not saying that.
but anyway, yeah, everyone looks great. There's not really jaggy either. There's no jags around the corner or anything like that. It runs pretty smooth. I didn't see no real frame rate drops or anything like that. And nothing to like ruin the overall gameplay. Like, some games have that frame rate situation where you jump and it like jitters and it'll throw you off. And that's actually really important since this is a platformer and jumping is key. So it's good there's no frame rate issues. Um, let's see about that. Yeah, there's no frame rate issues. Game looks great. All the areas are varied. Everything looks different, even though sometimes it's like one grass area to another grass area. They still add enough visual differences, like the beginning area, which is all grass. When you go to the other area, that's like the blue sage area, with like raining and rocks and shit like that. Like, it still looks visually different. You can tell where you are. So the level and character designs are nice and varied.
Yes, nice, varied, and pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
The voice acting is great. Like, everyone sounds perfect. Everyone, the voices fit the characters. Even though,
Especially Jack. His voice was fantastic.
even though Jack doesn't talk at all, he still gives off personality with his animations, like, to everybody really. Mainly to Daxter, since they're the main duos and they interact the most. With his eye rolls and just his facial emotions, you get what he's saying. So the lack of voice is not that bad, because there's some games that have a silent protagonist that just look like a blank slate and might as well be a brick wall. But they did, with how Jack moves and everything, they keep it from happening here.
Yeah, stuff. Jitter jumps. You mentioned jitter jumps, and I think that should be someone's new hit signal. Jitter jumps.
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
You don't know what you're missing.
And here we are, the overall, which is basically our overall feelings on Jak and Daxter 1 Precursor Legacy. And my overall feeling is this game was fucking fun, like I said in the beginning. I'm gonna keep that motto right there. It was fucking fun. Like, I enjoyed the characters, especially Jak and Daxter. They make a great duo. The gameplay was solid as hell. Solid as hell. The collecting was a non-issue. Everything was easy to get through. The voices were great, and like I said, the only real downside was the camera, Jack being too slow, and the camera Jack being too slow. Oh, and the weird platforming section with the cars. I didn't like that really that much. And that's really it. I think the game took me. I can't remember how long. Do you remember how long it took you to beat the game?
No idea.
I'll say, I guess, like, collecting everything. Shit, I'm trying to remember. I had to say probably like 10 hours, maybe.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 hours. That's a good amount. 10 hours. And, of course, it varies person to person, but that's 10 hours collecting everything.
That sounds fair. Let's see. Overall, I like the game. I really like the game. It was really fun. It was really cool. We already went through all this stuff already, but it was really fun and really cool. It is the best Jak and Daxter game. Don't play the rest of them. Good night, everybody.
Don't listen to him.
Come on, man. The other one is trash. Anyway, but no, seriously, it was a good game. Fun platforming, collecting, the overall world, the characters, not just Jak and Daxter, but everyone else that you interact with, whether it be a main character, whether it be one of the side characters. Everything just comes together so well. And yeah, it's not perfect, like you said, the camera is annoying sometimes, and you're right about the jumping sometimes when you go for the double jump. You know you press the button and it doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
And he goes,
But those are really small problems in an overall
great experience. Yeah, or a great experience. It's a minor mosquito bite. It'll itch here and there, but it won't ruin the whole thing.
Dear goodness, I hate your analogies.
Oh man. So I hope you enjoyed our thoughts on this game.
Especially the presentation part. That was fantastic, wasn't it? Especially my point of view, right?
And for gamer's sake, keep gaming.